has never really been entirely clear. What I heard Commissioner Sewell saying there is that they're going to try and...
Breaking into our newsroom, Buckingham Palace has said that the long-ruling Queen Elizabeth II has died at the age of 96. Spectrum News reporter Trevor Pettiford puts a spotlight on the Queen's historic and unprecedented reign over the United Kingdom.
I declare before you all that my whole life, whether it be long or short, shall be devoted to your service.
And long it was. Queen Elizabeth II ruled longer than any other monarch in the United Kingdom's history, but now the crown passes on to the next in line.
I pray that the blessing of Almighty God may rest upon your counsels.
Queen Elizabeth was not born knowing that she would ever be queen at all. She came into the world as Princess Elizabeth Alexandra Mary on April 21st, 1926, to her parents, the Duke and Duchess of York. At that time, her father, Prince Albert, was not next in line for the throne. However, the abdication of her uncle, Edward VIII, in 1936 drastically changed the young princess's life forever. With the newly added responsibility of future queen on her shoulders, young Elizabeth was then thrown into the tumultuous times of the Second World War. While the world was still recovering from the war, the princess fell in love and became engaged to Lieutenant Philip Mountbatten. It became a national inspiration when 21-year-old Elizabeth worked to save her clothing coupons for her royal wedding dress. The marriage of the princess to Prince Philip, the newly named Duke of Edinburgh, took place on November 20th, 1947 at Westminster Abbey in front of 2,000 guests and broadcast by BBC Radio to 200 million people around the world. In the next year, the newlyweds would welcome their first son, Charles, next in line to the throne after his mother, and 2 years later, a daughter, Anne. By 1952, when the pair were on holiday in Africa, they would get word that Princess Elizabeth's father, King George VI, had died. The couple returned to the UK immediately to begin the next chapter of their lives. As the head of the Commonwealth, she was a figurehead, but kept in close contact with Commonwealth leaders. Throughout her reign, the monarch held weekly one-on-one meetings with the Prime Minister of the UK, forming special bonds with PMs like Sir Winston Churchill, and kept up the tradition of an annual Christmas address. Her first televised address hit the airwaves in 1957.
A very happy Christmas.
Throughout her reign, the Queen visited more than 100 countries and entertained hundreds of world leaders.
Mr. President.
She met 12 sitting U.S. presidents, from President Dwight Eisenhower to President Joe Biden in 2021. But there were several presidents the Queen kept in close correspondence with, including President John F. Kennedy, who the Queen honored after his assassination at a memorial just outside of London. During her reign, the Queen gave birth to 2 more children, Princes Andrew and Edward. She was the first reigning monarch to give birth since Queen Victoria. The Queen would celebrate another milestone on the throne. Her Golden Jubilee in 2002 marked 50 years of her reign. On September 9, 2015, the Queen reached the incredible achievement of becoming Britain's longest reigning monarch, unseating Queen Victoria, who ruled for 63 years and 7 months. But it was along with the rest of the world that the highs and lows of life were brought to a halt by the 2020 COVID-19 pandemic.
Together we are tackling this disease, and I want to reassure you that if we remain united and resolute, then we will overcome it.
And the Queen, yet again, had to adjust to changing times.
Oh, good morning. Hello, Camilla.
The Queen, in her late 90s by that point, like people around the globe, had to learn how to work from home. She continued her duties for the country from Windsor Castle in isolation, conducting engagements and meeting with her people over the internet. But as the world worked to emerge from that pandemic, in April 2021, the Queen's husband of nearly 3/4 of a century died. 99-year-old Prince Philip battled an infection in the hospital before passing away peacefully at Windsor Castle. The Queen attended her late husband's funeral looking quite solitary amid the separation imposed by COVID-19 restrictions. But after a period of national mourning for the Duke, Queen Elizabeth was back at work, serving her people, beloved dogs by her side, until her own final days.
Once again, Queen Elizabeth passed away at the age of 96. We had heard this morning from palace officials that her doctors were saying that they were going to not recommend that she travel at all, that they were concerned about her health. And just hours later, it is now official, Buckingham Palace confirming that Queen Elizabeth II has died.